If YouTube makes you feel like you need to become louder, more charismatic, or more extroverted to succeed, you may already be inside the introvert trap. Because once you believe your natural way of being is the problem, every video starts to feel like proof that you're not enough. In this video, I'm going to break down the 5 lies underneath that trap, so you can see why your introversion was never the thing blocking your growth. What's really blocking you is the belief that your channel can't grow unless you become someone you're not. So let's look at what's really happening here. Because the whole trap rests on one belief you might be carrying without even realizing it. It sounds something like this: I need to be extroverted to succeed on YouTube. And I get why you'd believe it. Look at what you're surrounded by. So many of the creators who get attention are loud, high energy, big personalities, always on. From the outside, YouTube looks like it was built for extroverts. So you see that, and somewhere in the back of your mind, you quietly decide, I have to become that or I don't stand a chance. That's where the trap starts. And I'll be honest with you, I believed that for a long time too. I'm an introvert. It took me years to even consider having a YouTube channel and showing my face on camera. So I know that pressure firsthand. Here's what I want you to see instead. You don't need extroversion. You need to be effective. And those are not the same thing. Being effective on YouTube isn't about volume or energy. It's about clarity, trust, and giving one person something that actually helps them. None of that requires you to be extroverted. Your introversion isn't a flaw you have to overcome. It's more like a different operating system. The problem was never the way you were built. The problem is that you've been trying to run your channel from a model that was never designed for you. And once that belief gets in your head, it starts turning into these smaller lies that feel true, even when they're not. The first one says, I need more charisma. The second one says, quiet means weakness. The third one, I have nothing worth saying. The fourth one, visibility will drain me. And then there's the quietest one, the one about what success might cost you. If I succeed, I'll lose myself. So I want to walk you through each one, because once you can see the trap clearly, it'll start to lose its grip. The first lie is, I need more charisma. Once you believe YouTube runs on extroversion, you start thinking, I'm not charismatic enough. My personality has to carry the video. I need to be more magnetic on camera. But your personality doesn't have to carry the video. Your perspective carries the video. Charisma on YouTube isn't really about being magnetic. It's about being clear and authentic. The clearest voice is often the one people trust, not the loudest one. And clarity may already be one of your strengths. You think before you speak. You don't fill every silence with noise. You tend to say what you actually mean. That's not a charisma problem. That's part of why the right people may actually trust you. And if you believe charisma is the thing you're missing, the next layer gets more personal. Because now you're not just judging your delivery, you're judging yourself. The second lie is quiet means weakness. And this is where it starts to feel more personal. Once you've decided you're not charismatic enough, the next thought goes deeper. The thing I naturally am, quiet, thoughtful, reserved, is wrong. It's a liability. I need to fix it. And that gets heavy because now you're not just questioning your content, you're questioning yourself. So let me offer you a different way to hold it. You don't need to be the biggest personality in your niche. What you need is to be clear, grounded, and honest. Quiet doesn't mean weak. Sometimes it just means you're deliberate. And that kind of presence can build real trust. But this is where the trap starts affecting your channel. Because once you decide the way you naturally are is wrong, you don't just question your delivery. You start questioning whether your ideas are worth sharing at all. The third lie is, I have nothing worth saying. And this is the one that keeps a lot of introverted creators from ever hitting publish. If my delivery isn't magnetic and my quiet way of being is wrong, then maybe my ideas aren't good enough either. Maybe I'm not that interesting. Maybe I should wait until I have something better to say. Notice what just happened there. You started out worried about performance, and now you're questioning the value of your own ideas. That's not just a content problem. That's self-worth disguised as a content decision. So slow down with me for a second and let's unpack this. Your best ideas may come from the exact place you've been treating like a weakness. You don't need to think faster or speak louder. Some of your strongest ideas may come out slowly after you've had time to process it. You don't need to say more. You need to trust that what you already think is worth saying out loud. Let me ask you something. And I think you might already know the answer. How many ideas have you softened, delayed, or talked yourself out of because they felt too personal, too different, or too much like you? And how many of those ideas are still sitting in your notes? Not because they weren't good enough, but because you weren't sure anyone would care if you said it in your natural way. If you recognize yourself there, subscribe before we keep going. This channel is here to help you understand what's really shaping the way you show up, so you can grow on YouTube without constantly fighting yourself. The next lie is one that makes a lot of introverted creators think YouTube itself is draining them, when the real drain may be something much more specific. The fourth lie is visibility will drain me. And this one feels physical. You feel it before you record, after you post, or when you know you need to show up again and your whole body wants to avoid it. The thought underneath it is, if I have to perform to be seen, then visibility starts to feel like performance. And performing wears me out. So therefore, YouTube wears me out. And look, I want to be honest with you. For many of us introverts, being seen can drain you, but it may not be the visibility itself. And this is the part that's easy to misread, because it feels like YouTube is draining you. But what really drains you is performing a version of yourself that isn't real. Creating from a place that's more aligned with who you actually are may still take energy, but it doesn't drain you in the same way. The camera isn't the drain. The audience isn't the drain. The drain is the gap between who you are and who you think you're supposed to become when it's time to record. This is the belief that makes you want to quit, because pretending to be someone you're not for months is exhausting. Eventually, it starts to feel like YouTube is a problem, when really it's the performance you can't keep carrying. And there's one more belief. It's the quietest one, and almost nobody says it out loud. The fifth lie is, if I succeed, I'll lose myself. It sounds something like, if I actually succeed on YouTube, I'll have to become someone I'm not. That's the authenticity trap. And it creates a painful choice. Be yourself and fail, or succeed as someone else. Either way, you lose something. So the part of you that's trying to protect who you are starts holding back the very growth you say you want. Not because you don't want to succeed, but because somewhere in you, you're scared that if you do, you'll disappear. But that choice isn't real. You don't have to build a version of yourself you can barely sustain. You just need a way of showing up that doesn't require you to abandon yourself. And that requires you to trust yourself. The version of you that succeeds here isn't a louder you. It's a clearer you. And that person isn't waiting somewhere far off in the future. You already are that person. So look at the pattern here. Every lie is telling you the same thing. Who you naturally are is not enough for the platform. And every single one traces back to the same assumption. YouTube runs on extrovert rules, so I have to play the extrovert game. That's the trap. And the thing about traps is that once you actually see it, it stops working on you. When you stop trying to force yourself into that extrovert model, you start seeing your own traits differently. Your quietness stops being a weakness and becomes the reason people trust you. Your depth stops being boring and becomes the reason they stay. Your restraint stops being a flaw and becomes the filter that pulls in the right audience and gently pushes the wrong one away. Introversion stops being a problem you have to fix. It becomes a part of you that helps you find your people. And an introverted creator who has finally stopped performing can become deeply compelling, because people can feel when someone is being real. So if one of those 5 lies felt familiar, tell me which one in the comments. I read every single one. If this helped you see that your introversion was never the real problem, the next question is, how much of your channel growth is being shaped by your mindset? Because your YouTube strategy matters and your execution matters. But if the beliefs underneath them are quietly working against you, you can do a lot of the right things and still feel stuck. So watch this next video on the hidden formula behind YouTube success, where I break down my 10-30-60 rule and show you why mindset is actually 60% of what grows your channel.